Welcome back to the channel. Today we are cutting through this nonsense and breaking down some serious crypto math. I see a lot of people throwing wild price predictions for XRP and other cryptos without actually considering the numbers. And trust me, when I heard a recent claim from Common Sense Crypto about XRP's price, I was left speechless. Like, what the fuck is that? He said a 3-digit price for XRP would be enough to handle the trillions of dollars that need to be moved. Trillions. Now, let me show you why that math does not make any sense or add up. First, let's talk about what $1 trillion actually looks like. $1 trillion. You see this? That's 12 zeros. Yes, 12. Now let's look at $1 billion or 1 billion, the number 1 billion. Yes, this is a billion and it's just 9 zeros. Now let's look at it side by side. 1 trillion versus 1 billion. You see that? A trillion dwarfs a billion. Now let's compare that trillion to a 3-digit number. 1 trillion versus $100. So $1 trillion versus $100. Does that even look remotely feasible for XRP to move money at a price of $100 per coin? Not a chance. Let's talk about another example. Stronghold SHX. A blockchain built to handle massive payments. This applies to all ISO coins moving money, but we will use SHX for this breakdown. Stronghold is set to process transactions for the ACH system, which handles virtually all payments in the United States. If you've ever used a credit card, debit card, gotten a paycheck, or paid bills, your money flowed through the ACH system. And guess what? This system processes a staggering $82 trillion per year, give or take. Could be a little bit more, but it's somewhere around that ballpark. Let's put the number on the screen. $82 trillion per year. That's a lot of money. SHX blockchain has 100 billion coins available for transactions. Now, I hope that reminds you of another blockchain, XRP, that has 100 billion, and also ZEC has 100 billion coins as well. Coincidence? No, I don't think so. It's all a part of the design when it comes to all of these blockchains. Anyway, that might sound like a huge supply, but consider that ACH alone moves $217 billion per day, every single day. That's also a lot of money. And when you're talking about 100 billion coins, that doesn't really stand nowhere close to that when you think about it, right? So if SHX only has 100 billion coins to work with, what happens if we set the price too low? If SHX were priced at $100 per coin, moving $217 billion per day would require, now listen to this, it would require 271,250,000 coins. You would either be using 271,250,000 coins per day, which will nearly be the entire supply within 1 year. Now, that's not feasible at all. Not at all. So for crypto sensei, I'm sorry, not crypto sensei, for common sense crypto to say that, a 3-digit number is going to be feasible, how in the world is that when you're moving that amount of money? But this is a big if we were to price the coin higher, let's say $80 million per coin price, things change dramatically. At that price, moving $217 billion per day would only require 2,712 coins per day, or 990,062 coins per year. Suddenly, things start to make a lot more sense when you think about it. Like, you have to think about it, okay? It's things that make sense. Crypto coins don't just exist for 1 year, which this is what a lot of people, this is how they calculate it. They're meant to last for over 100 years as a part of a new financial system. The key to understanding a coin's potential price lies in this formula: 0.00001%, that should have been 5 zeros, 1% of the total money being moved per year or per day. That's how you get an understanding of what the price of the coin is going to need to be. Once you get an idea of how much money that blockchain is going to be moving, you can just do the math with that percentage, and that will give you the ballpark number as to how much the coin needs to be. Now, for SHX, that's roughly the burn rate for the blockchain, and for many blockchains, right? That percentage that I gave you, it's the burn rate, which is the tax, but that's also the way how they're going to calculate the price of the coin. But for the burn rate of the blockchains, meaning the transaction fees on SHX, it would cost around $9.9 million per year at that percentage. That is far cheaper than what's currently being spent to move money today. Now, my friends, that's efficiency and that's feasibility. The other stuff that a lot of these other people are talking about is not it. So the next time someone throws out a low price prediction for XRP, SHX, or any other ISO coin, ask them this: does that math really make sense? Because when you crunch the numbers, the reality is far bigger than they think. If you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. I'll be doing more deep dives into crypto pricing soon, so you won't want to miss it. I'm Thomas Bain, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out of here.